Here is a summary of Aristotle's life story. Aristotle 384 BCE 322 BCE was an ancient Greek philosopher and polymath. He was born in the city of Stagira in northern Greece. His father, Nicomachus, was a physician, and Aristotle's early education likely included training in medicine. At the age of 17 or 18, Aristotle moved to Athens to study under Plato, the renowned philosopher and founder of the academy. He spent around 20 years in Plato's academy, where he became known for his intellectual abilities and philosophical inquiries. After Plato's death in 347 BCE, Aristotle left Athens and embarked on a journey, during which he conducted scientific observations and collected specimens. He also served as a tutor to the young Alexander, who would later become Alexander the Great. Aristotle's teachings had a significant influence on Alexander's education, fostering his appreciation for philosophy, ethics, and political theory. In 335 BCE, Aristotle returned to Athens and founded his own school, known as the Lyceum. The Lyceum became a center of learning and research, covering a wide range of disciplines including philosophy, biology, physics, mathematics, logic, and ethics. Aristotle's teaching style at the Lyceum involved walking about while delivering lectures, leading to his students being called peripatetics. Aristotle's work encompassed a vast array of subjects, making him one of the most influential figures in Western thought. His writings covered fields such as metaphysics, logic, ethics, biology, physics, politics, and aesthetics. Some of his most well-known works include Metaphysics, Nicomachean Ethics, Physics, Politics, and Poetics. Aristotle's writings were extensive, and he developed his own systematic and empirical approach to knowledge, often based on careful observation and classification. Aristotle's philosophy differed from that of his teacher Plato in various ways. While Plato believed in the existence of a separate realm of ideal forms, Aristotle focused on studying the natural world and sought to understand the physical and observable aspects of reality. Aristotle's philosophy emphasized teleology, the study of purpose and final causes, and he viewed the world as a dynamic and purposeful system. Aristotle's ideas had a profound and lasting impact on Western thought. His works were preserved and studied throughout the Middle Ages and Renaissance, and his philosophy played a crucial role in shaping Christian scholasticism. Furthermore, his logical and scientific works influenced the development of scientific method in subsequent centuries.
In 322 BCE, Aristotle died in Euboea, Greece, at the age of 62. Although his influence declined after his death, his works were rediscovered and re-evaluated during the Islamic Golden Age, leading to a renewed interest in his philosophy during the European Renaissance. Aristotle's contributions to philosophy, science, logic, ethics, and many other disciplines continue to be studied and admired today. His emphasis on empirical observation, systematic inquiry, and logical reasoning laid the groundwork for scientific and philosophical advancements for centuries to come. Certainly. Here are some more details about Aristotle's life and contributions. The classification of knowledge. Aristotle classified knowledge into various disciplines, organizing them into what is now known as the tree of knowledge. This classification system formed the foundation of Western education for many centuries.
It divided knowledge into three main branches: theoretical sciences, physics; metaphysics, mathematics; practical sciences, ethics, politics. and productive sciences art, craftsmanship.
Biological studies. Aristotle made significant contributions to the field of biology. Conducting extensive observations and categorizing various species of animals. His work, History of Animals, provides detailed descriptions of animal behavior, anatomy, and reproduction. Aristotle's emphasis on empirical research and careful observation laid the groundwork for the scientific study of biology. Philosophy of nature. Aristotle's understanding of nature influenced his philosophy. He believed that everything in nature had a purpose and function. He introduced the concept of entelechy, which refers to the fulfillment of a potential or inherent purpose in an organism. Aristotle's philosophy of nature emphasized the interplay of form and matter, causality, and teleology. Logic and reasoning. Aristotle made significant contributions to the field of logic, developing a system of deductive reasoning known as syllogism. His work on logic, found in his writings Categories, and Prior Analytics, laid the foundation for formal logic and reasoning that continued to influence philosophical and scientific thinking for centuries. Aristotle's ethical philosophy focused on the cultivation of moral virtues and the pursuit of the good life. In his work, Nicomachean Ethics, he argued that virtue is achieved through a balance between extremes, known as the doctrine of the mean. He emphasized the importance of moral character, practical wisdom, and the development of virtuous habits in achieving personal flourishing and eudaimonia. Political theory. Aristotle's work on politics, found in his book, Politics, explored the nature of the state, different forms of government, and the role of the citizen. He advocated for a balanced and moderate form of government known as polity, which incorporated elements of both democracy and aristocracy. Aristotle believed that the purpose of politics was to cultivate the virtues and well-being of the citizens. Aesthetics. Aristotle's work on aesthetics, particularly his book, Poetics, is considered one of the earliest systematic studies on literary theory and drama. He analyzed the elements of tragedy, such as plot, character, and spectacle, and discussed the effects of art and literature on emotions and catharsis.
Influence on medieval scholasticism during the Middle Ages.
Aristotle's works, which had been preserved and translated into Latin, became the foundation of the intellectual movement known as scholasticism. Scholars such as Thomas Aquinas incorporated Aristotle's philosophy into Christian theology, seeking to reconcile faith and reason. Rediscovery and Renaissance. Aristotle's works experienced a resurgence of interest during the European Renaissance. His writings were reintroduced, translated, and studied, leading to a significant impact on philosophy, science, and education during this period. Renaissance thinkers, including figures like Galileo Galilei and René Descartes, were influenced by Aristotle's philosophical method and scientific approach. Aristotle's legacy. Aristotle's influence can be seen in various areas of knowledge, including philosophy, science, ethics, politics, and education. His emphasis on logical reasoning, empirical observation, and systematic inquiry has had a lasting impact on Western intellectual tradition. His works continue to be studied and debated, and his ideas remain influential in contemporary philosophical discourse. These additional details highlight Aristotle's contributions across a range of disciplines, showcasing his profound impact on the development of Western thought. And his lasting legacy in philosophy, science, and here are some more details about Aristotle's life and contributions. Aristotle and Alexander the Great. Here are some more details about Aristotle's life and contributions. Aristotle and Alexander the Great. Aristotle's most famous student was Alexander, who became Alexander the Great, one of the most powerful and influential rulers in history. Aristotle tutored Alexander during his teenage years and instilled in him a love for literature, philosophy, and the arts. The two maintained a correspondence even after Alexander became king and continued to exchange ideas and knowledge. Metaphysics. Aristotle's work, Metaphysics, is one of his most influential and complex works. It explores the nature of existence, reality, and the fundamental principles underlying the universe. Aristotle discusses concepts such as substance, causality, potentiality, actuality, and the nature of being.
Philosophy of mind. Aristotle's philosophy of mind examined the nature of the human soul. He believed that the soul is the form or essence of a living being and that it can be divided into three parts. The vegetative soul responsible for nutrition and growth, the sensitive soul responsible for perception and sensation, and the rational soul uniquely human and responsible for reason and intellect. Critique of Plato's theory of forms. While Aristotle was a student of Plato, he did not fully accept his teacher's theory of forms. Aristotle argued that forms or universals exist within individual objects, rather than in a separate realm of ideals. He believed that knowledge is derived from the study of particular things in the physical world. Aristotle's scientific approach involved extensive empirical research and observation. He believed that knowledge should be based on direct observation and the gathering of data. Aristotle's emphasis on empirical research was groundbreaking for his time and laid the foundation for later scientific methods. Aristotle's work in physics covered a wide range of topics, including motion, causality, and the nature of the physical world. He proposed a geocentric cosmology, believing that the Earth was the center of the universe. While many of his scientific ideas were later challenged and disproven, his work in physics set the stage for further exploration and inquiry. Aristotle's works were rediscovered and translated into Arabic during the Islamic Golden Age, leading to a revival of interest in his philosophy. Muslim philosophers, such as Avicenna and Averroes, engaged with and expanded upon Aristotle's ideas, contributing to the development of medieval and Islamic philosophy. Aristotle's writings were compiled and preserved in what is known as the Corpus Aristotelicum. This collection includes works in various fields, such as logic, metaphysics, biology, ethics, and politics. The Corpus Aristotelicum had a profound impact on subsequent generations of scholars and philosophers. Aristotle's works were studied and revered during the Renaissance, a period characterized by a renewed interest in classical learning. His philosophy played a significant role in shaping the humanist movement, which emphasized the importance of human reason, knowledge, and individual potential. Aristotle's ideas and contributions have had a lasting impact on Western thought. His works continue to be studied and debated, and his influence can be seen in fields ranging from philosophy and science to ethics and politics. Aristotle's systematic approach to knowledge and his emphasis on reason and observation continue to shape intellectual inquiry to this day.
These additional details shed further light on Aristotle's life, philosophical ideas, scientific pursuits, and his enduring impact on subsequent thinkers and intellectual traditions. Aristotle wrote extensively on a wide range of topics, producing numerous works on subjects including biology, physics, ethics, politics, logic, rhetoric, and more. His writings cover a vast array of disciplines, making him one of the most prolific and influential philosophers in history. The Poetics. Aristotle's work, Poetics, is considered one of the most important texts on literary theory and aesthetics. In it, he discusses the nature of tragedy, the elements of dramatic storytelling, and the role of emotions and catharsis in literature. The concepts and principles outlined in Poetics have had a profound impact on the study and understanding of drama and storytelling. Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics. Aristotle's ethical philosophy, outlined in his work, Nicomachean Ethics, explores the nature of morality and human flourishing. He argues that the highest good is eudaimonia, often translated as happiness, or flourishing, which is achieved through the cultivation of virtues and the pursuit of excellence in all aspects of life. Aristotle's philosophy incorporates the concept of teleology, which refers to the study of purpose and final causes. He believed that everything in nature has an inherent purpose or goal. For example, the acorn's purpose is to become an oak tree. Aristotle's emphasis on teleology influenced his understanding of the natural world and contributed to his views on causality. Aristotle's works were reintroduced to Western Europe during the High Middle Ages and had a profound impact on Christian thought. Christian theologians, such as Thomas Aquinas, sought to reconcile Aristotle's philosophy with Christian theology. Aquinas's synthesis of Aristotle's philosophy with Christian doctrine became a cornerstone of medieval scholasticism. The doctrine of the golden mean. Aristotle's ethical theory includes the doctrine of the mean, which suggests that moral virtue lies between extremes. He argues that virtues are the mean between vices, and the virtuous person strikes a balance in their actions and character. For example, courage is the mean between recklessness and cowardice. Influence on scientific method. Aristotle's emphasis on empirical observation and systematic inquiry had a significant influence on the development of scientific methodology. His writings on biology and natural history laid the foundation for future scientific study and classification of organisms. Influence on Islamic philosophy. Aristotle's works were widely studied and translated into Arabic during the Islamic Golden Age. Muslim philosophers, such as Ibn Rushd Averroes and Ibn Sina Avicenna, engaged with Aristotle's ideas and incorporated them into their own philosophical systems. Aristotle's influence on Islamic philosophy extended to fields such as metaphysics, ethics, and logic. Legacy in logic. Aristotle's contributions to logic were foundational and remained influential for centuries. His work on syllogistic reasoning, found in his writings, Categories, and Prior Analytics, laid the groundwork for formal logic and deductive reasoning. Aristotle's logical framework continued to shape the study of logic throughout history. The Lyceum. Aristotle's school, the Lyceum, was a center of learning and research, where he taught and engaged in intellectual discussions with his students and colleagues. The Lyceum contributed to the dissemination of Aristotle's ideas and the training of future philosophers and scholars. These additional details provide further insight into Aristotle's writings. His ethical and aesthetic theories, his influence on various fields, and his enduring impact on Western philosophy, science, and intellectual traditions. While Aristotle was a student of Plato, he developed his own philosophical system that diverged from Plato's theory of forms. Aristotle criticized Plato's belief in the existence of separate ideal forms, arguing that the forms were immanent within individual objects rather than existing independently. Method of empiricism. Aristotle's approach to knowledge emphasized empirical observation and the study of the natural world. He believed that knowledge is acquired through direct observation, gathering data, and drawing conclusions based on evidence. This empirical method became a crucial aspect of his scientific and philosophical inquiries. Concept of potentiality and actuality. Aristotle introduced the distinction between potentiality and actuality. He believed that everything in the natural world has the potential to develop or actualize certain qualities or forms. For example, a seed has the potential to become a plant. Actualization occurs when the potential is realized. Hylomorphism. Aristotle's theory of hylomorphism proposes that substances are composed of matter hyle and form morphe. Matter represents the underlying material or substrate, while form represents the structure, qualities, and characteristics that give a substance its identity. According to Aristotle, form and matter are inseparable and exist together in individual objects. Influence on medieval and Renaissance thought. During the Middle Ages, Aristotle's works were preserved and studied by scholars in the Byzantine Empire and Islamic world. In the 13th century, his works were reintroduced to Western Europe through translations. His philosophy became a central component of medieval scholasticism and had a significant impact on Renaissance humanism. Philosophy of education. Aristotle's philosophy of education emphasized the development of virtuous character and the cultivation of practical wisdom. He believed that education should focus on moral virtues, intellectual growth, and the application of knowledge to practical situations. Aristotle's ideas on education influenced educational practices for centuries. Aristotle's ethical philosophy centers around the cultivation of virtues and the pursuit of eudaimonia, often translated as human flourishing or the good life. His emphasis on moral virtues, such as courage, justice, and temperance, laid the foundation for virtue ethics, a moral framework that focuses on character development and moral excellence. Contributions to rhetoric. Aristotle's work on rhetoric, found in his treatise, Rhetoric, explores the art of persuasion and effective communication. Aristotle's insights into rhetoric continue to be influential in the study of communication and persuasion. Natural philosophy. Aristotle's contributions to natural philosophy encompassed various areas, including physics, biology, and astronomy. His theories on motion, causality, and the structure of the cosmos influenced scientific thinking for centuries. Although many of his specific scientific ideas were later revised or replaced. His systematic approach to the study of the natural world set a precedent for scientific inquiry. Influence on Western philosophy. Aristotle's philosophy had a profound and lasting impact on Western thought. His ideas and methods influenced subsequent philosophers, such as the Stoics, Epicureans, and Neoplatonists, and his works continued to be studied and commented upon throughout history. Aristotle's influence extended to philosophers like Immanuel Kant, who sought to reconcile aspects of his philosophy with modern thought. These additional details shed further light on Aristotle's philosophical contributions, scientific theories, and his influence on subsequent thinkers and intellectual traditions.